17 years back, I was just 13 years old and had been caught by my father with weed. I hadn't rolled the joint correctly, so my subsequent babbling could not be attributed to intoxication. "Where did you get this?" he hissed. "From underneath." "Huh?" I went inside. "Damn it, kid. Put the words in order and then make a sentence." "I went inside your room and got it from underneath your mattress." His face turned lily white. Did you find anything else under there?" "No," I lied. He swallowed and nodded. So I won't say anything to your mother if you don't." We never brought it up again, and things were permanently awkward between us from then on. That's the type of uncomfortable relationship I felt entitled to have with my son. Instead, I was shitting my pants with fear as my all-white-eyed child led us away from our damned living room and toward the front door. "Killing the scion has angered the parent," he explained again, accurately assuming that I was slow on the uptake. "It wants to confront us, and it is torturing us until we present ourselves." My head spun. Why? Why does it want to hurt us? And why is it doing so now? My spinal fluid went from chilly to frozen as my boy slowly turned around, his pupilless eyes seeing nothing and everything all at once. "Can you think of anything you might have done to anger a demon, Father?" My hands shook. "Anything in my entire life? If I'd known that demons were real, I would have made decisions very differently." Damien nodded as though this was obvious. "As far as the timing goes, I've been casting protection spells over you for as long as my memory serves." I raised an eyebrow. "And, well, just how long is that?" "Time, like the sea, bends out of sight when it crosses the horizon." That amped my fear just high enough to squeeze the first turd niblet into my briefs. After staring around my unnaturally dark house, my gaze inexorably returned to the two glowing white orbs in my son's head. I would have been able to protect you indefinitely if you hadn't disturbed my ritual last night. I opened my mouth to speak. Then I closed it because there's absolutely nothing a person can say in response to that. "It is time, Father." Damien turned away from me and headed to the front door. I followed him, feeling like I was floating through a dream. When my son touched the knob, a pulse ran through the room, flicking every nerve ending I had. "Wait!" I demanded. When he turned around, Damien's eyes had gone back to normal. He seemed just like my little boy again, small and vulnerable to a world from which I was supposed to protect him. "What's going to happen when you open that door?" He tried to stop the tears, but they were too strong. "The parent lost his scion. He'll need the same in return to end this forever." I felt like I'd been turned inside out. "No," I whispered. "He can't take you, my son. He can't take my son." Each word grew louder. The house breathed. I don't know how else to explain the unsettling passage of air across my ears. It took several seconds for me to realize that the breathing was laughter. "Damien, there has to be another way." He smiled through the tears. "The only other option is for you to sacrifice yourself, Father. But I have spent a lifetime protecting you from this thing, even when you didn't know it, even when you were ashamed of my behavior that you didn't understand. So, though you could sacrifice yourself, I intend to complete the task I undertook very long ago. Perhaps we never really understood each other, but I always loved you. So I shall go in your stead to meet whatever pain awaits, comforted by the fact that your life was preserved through my suffering." "Oh, okay. Thanks." Damien balked, looking as though he had expected me to say more. "Unless," he began. I stared, waiting for him to finish. Then he wiped his eye and turned the knob. It felt as though space itself was pulled into the colorless open maw of what lay beyond my front door, just like water swirling around a toilet bowl. And when I say colorless, I don't mean black. The concept of hue simply couldn't exist beyond that threshold, just like I cannot see past the edge of my peripheral vision, or how there is no capacity for the written word to have a scent. And when my boy stepped into it, everything returned to normal. I rubbed my eyes, suddenly aware that my house was flooded with the daylight that had been hitherto unnaturally blocked. Looking around, I saw that there was no blood, no darkness, no knives or candles, and no Damien. Damien's final sacrifice was enough to ward this thing off forever. But this horrifying experience has changed me forever, and I am not happy. This morning I poured myself a bowl of Frosted Flakes and headed to the bathroom. But when I came out, there were 2 bowls of cereal. Next to my Frosted Flakes was a bowl of grape nuts. Damien's favorite cereal was grape nuts because he's that kind of strange. That broke in my heart and creeped me out. It doesn't make sense. It never did. Weird as he was, I do miss my son.